Yo, what's up, guys? It's Troy D. Welcome back to the channel. Troy D 24/7 Mall, on point reviews all day, every day. Man, okay. Yesterday's haul was a pretty major video, I know. And I was planning to do a few things, but then this really shook me, guys. This shook me to where I had to scrap a lot of the other things I was planning to do today for today's video and do this instead. And I thought I was gonna move on from Fierce. We had a guy that wanted to send me the Dua Fierce, which is like the Dua clone of Fierce, and he wanted me to to compare them, and I was like, yes, thank you so much. I can't wait for that. And so I was ready to kind of move on from Fierce, right? And recently I've been gaining traction with a lot of the Kilians. I'm starting to really like them. So far, I haven't had a bad experience. I've gotten the Moonlight in Heaven Crozier. Then I got the Intoxicated. I have Black Phantom, Back to Black. Everything amazing, especially yesterday. I tried Love, Don't Be Shy. So I was on a roll with Kilian too. And so, today I plan to do something else. I gave you guys a poll on what you guys wanted for the next video. But then there was a stroke of curiosity that just hit my brain. And I was just like, well, you know what? I remember being sent the samples of a bunch of Kilians, and one of those was Vodka on the Rocks. And I was like, this is something that I can, I would love to just try on like right now, because I was gonna make Vodka on the Rocks my first Kilian purchase. I was gonna make it my first Kilian purchase, period. And I was gonna buy a bottle, the whole deal, right? And you guys know me. I actually do blind buy a lot of the things, okay? I do my own research. I trust my gut. Then I start blind buying. Well, there's a reason why now, this thing is kind of delayed. Why other things have come in front of Vodka on the Rock. And so yeah, I woke up and I was going to do something else. Matter of fact, there was a huge demand for me to do the no hype review on Italica. I know. I should do it soon. But I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's try Vodka on the Rocks. And once I smelled it, I was like, boom. I was like, oh man, you gotta be like kidding me, right? Like, this is basically Fierce. I was like what? I was really like at a loss for words. I'm basically reenacting what I was feeling earlier. I was like, dude, a freaking $200 something Kilian, right? Smells like Fierce. I was like, whoa. And this is, I haven't like cross-checked it, but just like, the moment I smelled it, right, I was like, oh my gosh, this is freaking Fierce. And let me tell you guys, okay, I grew up with Fierce, okay? Like, maybe I know we have audiences outside America. Maybe it's not part of your culture, but the culture that I was in, especially like growing up, going to school in Texas, this was a thing, you could put me through like a fear factor thing, a smell test and fear factor. You can make me smell blood and guts. You can make me smell pee. But if you make me smell Fierce, guys, I know, or Abercrombie, I know it's going to be Abercrombie. I'm going to be like, yo, that's Abercrombie. Why? Because it's a huge part of culture back in those days. Man, if you took high school, college, young adulthood, going to, the bars, hooking up with chicks, whatever. I mean, Fierce was part of your life. You know what I'm saying? So you can't miss it. And when I sprayed Vodka on the Rocks, I was like, no freaking way. So I said, I'm going to get up again. It woke me up, actually. And I said to myself, like, man, I got to make a real good comparison of this. A straight up for real comparison. Not just like, oh, it smells the same or it's exactly the same. I'm going to break it down, okay? Now, before I continue, guys, do not forget to subscribe, okay? Appreciate all the subscriptions, guys. We're blowing up. Thank you to you guys, okay? Don't forget to do that. And also join the contest. Don't forget to join the contest. Ends probably this weekend is when it ends, probably. So I did a breakdown, and you know what I did was I sprayed it kind of like side by side, and I did a full wear of Vodka on the Rocks. As you can see, it was like what, here, and then now it's like here. Fell down again. Gosh, keep dropping things. So this one right here is, yeah, it's halfway because I made sure to test it for you guys. and this rare juice. I've been spraying it for you guys as well to test. And what I'm going to share to you guys is basically the note breakdown. Okay, so this is important. So I put them side by side. I put the note breakdown of Fierce and Vodka on the rocks. All right. The thing that really shook me is this. I mean, before I show this, guys, I know about the whole clone business. Okay, the clone business is, there's a machine analyzes the original cologne, breaks it down. The machine breaks it down, and then the clone company searches for the oils or the materials that try to make it up. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, I'm very familiar with it. And with Dua, for example, like Dua is great, and it really does project and all. The thing that makes it different than the original generally is that it's that added punch that they put. Why? Because they know their customers. Their customers prefer a packed punch. So actually, that packed punch that they put in Dua is the difference maker. You know what I'm saying, guys? The difference maker between the real one and the clone one is that. It's the packed punch. And whatever synthetics that is, or even if it wasn't synthetics, you can smell the difference between the original and the clone. Again, nothing different there. But this is a little bit different. This is from a perfumer, a high-end perfumer. You know what I'm saying, guys? Based in Paris. And then you've got Abercrombie, which is a collegey, legendary cologne. Just, not too expensive here in the United States. So this changes everything, because this is like, if you look at the notes, guys, man, I broke this down for you guys. Okay, I painstakingly broke this down to you guys. You might think upon initial impression that, it's different. It's different. They look different. There's more notes on Fierce even. But let me tell you, man, the more I looked into it, right? So on the next slide, you start seeing the similarities. Okay, so I started striking down the ones that they had like straight up similar. Okay, and that was like the coriander. Okay, that was the rose. That was the lily, the lily flower. That was the oak moss and the woods. Okay, so I'm 100% sure that this is like the base like combination. Now you're probably thinking like, oh, that's it? No, not really, because the aldehydes on Vodka on the Rocks closely mimic, guess what? Orange and lemon. Okay, so you could do aldehydes and they could smell like orange and lemon. So right there, that took it down. So right there, that's basically the opening already, right? So the opening is almost exactly the same. Now, fast forward to the rhubarb. The rhubarb is basically what? The green soapy scent. And if you look at it, guys, there's green scents on the middle notes. Okay, that's the rhubarb. Okay, so strike that down too. And finally, ambroxan. Ambroxan mimics what? Musk and ambergris. So, what do we got here? Musk right there. Well, white musk is actually technically like an ambergris scent. So, ambroxan and white musk is also pretty much the same. So, this is my point, guys. Okay? I'm thinking Kilian took a trip to the US, was so blown away by Abercrombie that he said, you know what, I need to recreate this abroad. That's what I'm thinking. And he was probably thinking like, I need to market this to the bougie crowd. I need to market this to the Parisian bougie crowd, and it's going to blow their socks off. And this is exactly what I said. I said that on my review video. I said, you got to take it abroad, because they would appreciate it more abroad, because here in America, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? It's totally everywhere. It might be underappreciated, but if you take this abroad, if you took Fierce to like Paris or Switzerland, where they never heard of Abercrombie, or the whole like, the college culture is a little bit different, man, they're going to be blown away. I'm thinking that's what Kilian was thinking, and he was like, you know what? Let's bring a bottle of this home and let's try to remake it into something like this. And you know what, guys? It's pretty damn the same. The only difference I can really point out, okay, is the remaining notes. Okay, the remaining notes are aquatic notes for Fierce and a little bit more green. Okay, and that is exactly the difference. I sprayed this side by side. The Fierce cologne, the OG Fierce cologne, is actually more aquatic, more green than this one. A lot of people say, you know what, the dry down of Vodka on the Rocks is basically Fierce. Basically what they're saying, okay, what they're saying is that, and this is, I will confirm this because like I said, man, I'm an Abercrombie fan. Fierce smells, okay, so if you take all the aquatic notes, you take that little more green, it smells like the Abercrombie store spray. That's what this smells exactly like. It is almost, I mean, really like spot on dead ringer Abercrombie room spray. And by the way, that is not Fierce, okay? The Abercrombie room spray, the vintage one, is being sold right now for a lot of money, okay? This is the one that is sprayed on the clothes. And it's a little bit more, it's less aquatic, obviously. It's more like a powdery type deal. And I will say this, that Vodka on the Rocks smells like that. Which tells me, for me, Vodka on the Rocks smells more Abercrombie than Abercrombie. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. Vodka on the Rocks smells more Abercrombie than Abercrombie. Because this one, yes, it is Abercrombie, but it's the cologne of Abercrombie. But this one smells like the store. When you walk in and you know that room spray in the store, that's exactly this. So this is why I was blown away this morning, because when I sprayed it, it's like all the memories came back and I was like, man, this is Abercrombie. But when I put side by side, of course there are going to be differences, like the aquatic notes, a little bit greener on this side, but so many similarities that, you know, it doesn't matter. If you spray either on yourself, you know, if you're from America or you grew up with Abercrombie, you know it's Abercrombie. You know what I'm saying, guys? And so I guess the question is, like, is it worth buying Vodka on the Rocks? What's the performance of Vodka on the Rocks? So I sprayed it at 11 a.m. Now it's like 2, okay? And now it has turned to a little bit of a skin scent. So that's like 3 hours. That's like 3 hours Vodka on the Rocks on my skin. I wanna kind of like give it a little bit more objectivity, because there's people that hate Vodka on the Rocks and they'll immediately say it only lasts like 20 minutes on my skin. Get out of here, guy. There's no perfume that lasts 20 minutes in your skin. But this one right here, 3 hours. 3 hours of just, you know, wafts. You can still smell it. It's around you. And the initial part, maybe the first hour and a half to 2 is the you know, the projection one, real Abercrombie smell. And the Fierce, I reviewed that already. Fierce is also pretty similar, but because this is a cheaper cologne, I mean, you'd have to spray it a little bit more, okay? So, what's the verdict, guys? Whew, oh man. No, I would never buy a $200 Vodka on the Rocks bottle. I would never do that unless I was really a fan of Abercrombie. But even if, you know, like, I guess if you're abroad and if you don't know, it's better for you to be innocent and like, I never heard of Abercrombie. This Vodka on the Rocks is spectacular. I can totally understand, but if you're in America and you're buying Vodka on the Rocks, like, do not be surprised if people around you think it's Abercrombie. Do not be surprised if somebody calls you Abercrombie, because yeah, it is so similar. And if there's anybody that's trying to tell me that it's not, like it's totally different, man, you're lying, and you're only justifying the $300 that you purchased for Vodka on the Rocks. But there is no freaking way that it's not Abercrombie scent. It is an Abercrombie scent without a doubt. Again, missing a few things. But when we're talking about like the room scent of a store, the Abercrombie store, this one is spot on. And the lack of the aquatic notes as well as the greener notes really solidify that to my head. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's what the Abercrombie store smells like, okay? But again, if you are abroad and you want to use this, you want to use Vodka on the Rocks, maybe you can redo whatever happened back in the early 2000s. You can use Abercrombie and get the chicks, get the become the popular guy in school somewhere in Germany or Austria. Maybe that'll work for you. And I'm sure it works for them. But I'm just saying, guys, as an American that grew up with Abercrombie, this is tough for me to swallow. Is really tough for me to swallow. That a Kilian smells like Abercrombie, and you can see the notes. They're almost paired exactly the same. I don't know, man. That shocked me. It shook me to death. And so, yeah, that was a big dud in terms of Kilian. And yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm buying this vodka on the rocks as long as Fierce is alive and around. Fierce isn't even really my perfume, so we're on a deadlock right there. Okay, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's up to you guys. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. But this really had me shook as a fan of Abercrombie as a kid. I just could not believe that there's a $200-something Abercrombie scent called vodka on the rocks somewhere out there being put in these fancy atomizers. I can't believe it. Yeah, like I could just imagine some bougie person trying to put this on, like I'm so bougie, and then like suddenly everybody's like, yo, I like your Abercrombie, dude. What's up, man? You still wear Abercrombie? You're like 32, like I can see that happening here in America. So yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, guys. Anyways, that's my video. I'm gonna make more comparisons, guys. Trust me, it's gonna be great. I'm loaded up with comparisons. Okay, whether it's the clones or things that are similar, I'm down. Okay, and if you have clones, you want me to review them side by side with the originals, send it to me, guys. Okay, send it to me. Okay, I'll send it back to you, obviously, but send it to me because I'm not gonna double up. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna buy another one. I'm not gonna buy a clone of what I have if I have the original. So if you guys want me to seriously, objectively do this, send them to me. Okay, and I will break it down for you. Thank God I got this, because if I got a bottle, I don't know what I would think right now. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me and my rambling. It was more than just breaking it down. It was a little bit of a ramble because, yeah, I feel strongly about this perfume. Anyways, until then, guys, we'll see you again, maybe tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to watch the videos. I love you all. Have a safe day, guys. Peace out. Happy Monday.